Hello, my name is Jim Duff and I'm with JDE and Associates. We get to help contractors succeed. Today I'd like to discuss our time tickets. This time ticket was designed for field crews primarily, but there's absolutely no reason that it could not work for office employees as well. We prefer our time tickets to be filled out electronically. Either a laptop or a tablet. Tablet is actually preferred with a OtterBox Defender series to protect it, is an efficient way for your field to be able to document items within the field as well as to email them to the office. Because this is an electronic document, I want everyone to make sure that this is legal in their states. Most states allow this to be done, but you do have to make sure. Because this is all set up in an electronic format, we already have all of the employees already set up. So today we're going to use Larry as an example. Larry is an 85% apprentice, and this week ending is March 6th. Now I typically don't have the week ending set up in a drop-down, but for today it was just easier to set it up than it was to go ahead and type it in. Most contractors, when they're filling out time tickets, this is what you will see. Larry worked 8 hours on Monday, he worked 8 hours on Tuesday, he worked 8 hours on Wednesday, he worked 8 hours on Thursday, and he left a little bit early on Friday and he only worked 6 hours. This is similar to what I'm used to seeing for most of the contractors that we work with. This gets the employee paid, which is a good thing. However, it does not help the employer as far as their efficiencies at all. What I prefer to see is I prefer contractors to have their employees indicate what they were doing. And those indications are the same breakdowns as what the estimator could have used or should have used. And so we're going to start with Larry working on off of the base bid. He's going to be working on fixtures. And he's working off of, well, I meant that to be E1, not E2. E1 is the first floor. Perhaps on Monday he worked 8 hours on fixtures that day. On Tuesday he may have worked another 8 hours. Wednesday he could only work 4 hours because there were a few fixtures that they were just couldn't be installed yet. The framing wasn't ready. So he only worked the 4 hours. Now, to fill out the day, he's going to start his branch conduit. Now, I indicated that I use the breakouts exactly as they are completed in the estimate. There is one exception, and that would be branch. Branch, you're going to have branch in fixtures, you're going to have branch in power, you're going to have branch in switchgear, and every conceivable special systems, be it fire alarm, tel data, nurse call. I mean, you're going to have branch everywhere. So consequently, as far as time cards and tracking is concerned, we are going to lump all of the branch into one breakdown for our field. Our field are electricians because they don't want to be accountants. So he finished out Wednesday working on branch. Thursday morning everybody got there and they got shocked because the truth of it is our main switchgear was sitting up and wasn't supposed to be delivered today, but we need that switchgear, so we're going to go ahead and accept it. Normally we want 24-hour notice. Took them 5 hours to take care of this, and so consequently we stick in the 5 hours. Finished out the day working on branch, and then Friday morning Well, Friday morning started off, and it turns out that the fixtures that he couldn't complete are now ready to be installed, so he finished those, and he finished out his short day on branch conduit. This ticket gives you a lot more. It still gets the employee paid, but as long as your estimated breakout hours are loaded into your accounting system with the breakouts, and then your time ticket comes in and the hours are recorded based on the breakouts for this job, this is going to give you a lot of information. Now, what I like is I like to complete a cost to complete job walk. Cost to complete job walk, they're going to know how many hours have been used on every breakout. They also know how many hours were estimated. So when you go on to the job site, you can walk the job site, determine what percentage for every breakout is completed, and when you're done, it's fairly easy to have a financial picture of your job. The other thing that this does is it allows you to look at your labor units that you're estimating by. And in a very short amount of time, you're going to begin to see where some of your hours that you're using for estimating may be too low. Maybe you have to raise them up a bit. Some of them may be too high, so those you can bring down. And this is the rationale that you use to give to your field employees and make them understand that no, you're not tracking their every move with this time card. You are tracking their every move with periodic job walks, and that supervisor's main task is making sure that your guys are working efficiently. Finishing out this time ticket, I'm going to come in here and I'm going to stick in how many hours were available to Larry this week. Okay, now 40 hours was available. He only worked 36. If this is a one-time thing or a very erratic type of thing, I'm not going to have too much of a problem with it. If it's a continual thing, that's a different story. Now, Larry has a job employee number, and let's just say it's 35356. You stick that in there. Well, you don't have room in that particular cell, so you can't read it, and the only people that know it would be Larry himself or the office, the person that takes care of their time. They're then going to come in and just indicate whether there was any injuries for the week. If Larry was to check yes, and the supervisor didn't know it, then that supervisor best be finding out what happened, because certain injuries, you only have so much time to report it. Otherwise, OSHA could be coming back with a fairly steep fine. This doesn't happen all the time, but it does happen. Now, the supervisor will come in here with their employee number, and it's ready to be sent off. This is a much more efficient, and actually I think it's a faster method of taking care of time cards. Well, I hope this is beneficial for you. Hope it's given you something to think about, and I hope this has been a profitable week for you. Thank you, and I hope to hear from you.